All right.
What up?
Hello, everybody.
Welcome to Ruthlessly Committed, episode 2.
I'm getting hot already.
What is it called?
Rejected and Unwanted. Oh, shit. That is some real stuff right there. Boy, do we have some stuff to share with you today.
All right, so what was the original? It was Passion.
It was Keeping the Passion
Alive. All right, so
Yeah.
2
Because
nights
I figured,
ago.
no. And here's why that topic was, I thought was gonna be fun and a cool thing to share with you guys, because we're looking at, some facts, like, oh, okay, cool, like, we have sex, we have 4 kids, and it works out pretty well, like, that doesn't apply to everybody. Maybe that's something we could talk about, and maybe,
So we're gonna walk you through our story. So the last couple days,
and Monday,
in preparation, this is gonna be a huge treat for you. Like, it's gonna be a huge treat for you guys.
This is real time.
It's been life changing for us.
Jeremy.
It's been life changing for us, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
So
Literally life.
2 nights ago, we thought, hey, we'd actually have some direction for this video instead of just having a question. So we thought about how we keep the passion alive. So we went on a walk 2 nights ago, and just walked down
kombucha.
Ocean Beach, and
Trendy stuff.
we asked what we're gonna talk about, keeping the passion alive. Where we're gonna go from there.
Oh yeah.
And
this feels like 2 months ago, not 2 nights ago. It's crazy how much stuff has happened in the last 48 hours.
I have no voice. Excuse me, I have no voice. I have released hours of rage, lots of screaming, crazy stuff into a towel. And,
I think you had like a stack of 10 towels.
A lot of towels.
A lot of towels.
I'm gonna let you know right now. I think it was the most pain I've ever been in my life, like inside. Just working through some deep shit in our marriage, working through some deep stuff in myself. And yeah, so 2 nights ago, we get into, so we're talking about being unwanted, so not like being desired, not being desired. So there's, well, most of my whole marriage, I mean, there's been seasons, but for the most part, I've felt like I'm not like super desired. My fantasy is that I can't keep Lucy off me. I can't keep all the women off me. Like, yeah, that's my fantasy, right? And I can't keep Lucy off me, but that's never been the case. Maybe when we were first in love, in our honeymoon stage, and then particular moments when we've been away from each other. Like when I was in the military, I'd take off all the time, and I'd come back, and we'd fuck like bunnies. Like, it was amazing.
Yeah, like if there was a long absence and we come back and be like, oh, I really want you right now.
When things got in the way, like just life got normal, kids, life, work. It takes work to schedule sex. You gotta schedule time for sex, and it takes work. It takes back rubs and massages.
A lot of work, lead up, foreplay,
texting, and all kinds of just fun stuff. And anyway, so that was the conversation. It's like, man, remember when I used to not really, not feel wanted at all? And I'm gonna tell you right now, like those stages of our marriage, which was basically up until a couple years ago.
Yeah, and this ties in a lot with what we talked about last week.
Included a lot of pornography, included a lot of masturbation, included a lot of like, okay, Lucy, you're not gonna give me what I want. You're not gonna like really act like you're into sex, into me. I'll take care of myself. And it felt empty. It just sucked. But we did both. I could juggle both. Hey, I could juggle it all. Juggle myself and you, babe.
Plenty of sperm to go around.
And so we went into that 2 nights ago, and we thought we were over it. And as soon as you brought it up,
I said no. There was a particular thing that I said that I thought we had cleared. I thought we had talked about. I thought that was in the past. And what I said was how for the first, we've been married 11 years, so it was really the first 9 years of marriage. For the most part, I felt like with sex, I could take it or leave it.
That was it.
And that, it triggered something crazy in Ryan. He was like, what?
And I got so angry.
Even though that's not the case right now.
In a quiet neighborhood, I got so angry, you could hear me a mile away. And I was so angry, I was like, okay, you could take it or leave it. And I got angry, and I was like, so where are you now? Like, do you still feel like that now? And are we over this? I'm not over it, because I thought I was over it. We both thought I was over it. And I thought we fixed some shit. We did a lot of stuff. We got into all kinds of crazy stuff, and sex has changed. But when she brought it up, I clearly wasn't over it because I was triggered.
There was still pain there.
And so
it wasn't all dealt with.
Like an hour walk maybe. And the thing was, you wouldn't. Like,
I didn't want to own my part in that, because, and I should know this by now, that when I start to make rationalizations and justify and make excuses, like, well, that was, that ended 2 years ago. Like, I haven't felt that way for 2 years. Like, well, I want to be in the here and now and like just forget about that stuff, because I don't want to look at the pain. I don't want to face the pain that I caused. It's so hard. It's so hard. I think it's not just me, but for me, I feel like it's really extra fucking hard for me to own my stuff that I did back then. If I did it like right now, I'm like, oh man, I messed up. It's easier for me for some reason to acknowledge that, but I don't want to go back to past. So it was so hard. I resisted it so much, and especially once Ryan was triggered and he was angry, and he was hurt, and so I didn't want to give him the satisfaction of being right. It's crazy because I'm literally resisting my own vision. Because I say that I want to be a woman of integrity. I say that I want to be a woman who is powerful, who is authentic, and all this stuff. But when shit hits the fan and an opportunity for me to own my shit comes up, I didn't take it. I resisted it because in my head I rationalized, well, he's angry, so I don't know if I can trust what he's telling me right now. Is he really for me? Is he on my side? So this went on for so long. We got back home and it just continued, and and I just kept fighting it and resisting it. And Ryan's like, how can you not see it?
Okay, so when she says own her shit, we own our shit, that's just us owning our responsibility in it.
It's simple acknowledgement.
And so as soon as she said take it or leave it, and we brought that back to is it resolved, and I was triggered, she could take it or leave it, take sex or leave it. I was triggered, and she, instead of just saying, yeah, like I fucked up, I did this, and it's not just her, it's me too. I was critical back then. I was very critical. I did lots of stuff to just turn her off. I was a dick, like often. But she wouldn't take responsibility for it. And so she kept on justifying, making up stories, making up reasons why. I thought we were already over this. I thought we were past that. But the thing is, if we're over it, then you could own it.
It's like when you really move past it, you can talk about it and share and look back at the past and not be terrified. It's just a fact that happened. There's not all this pain behind it. So basically, we weren't done there.
So basically, we thought we were over it 2 years ago, and this is before we got into a lot of stuff we're into now, not just sexually, but a lot of responsibility, owning responsibility, and coaching and stuff, and so clearly we weren't over it. I was triggered. I was really pissed off, and she didn't want to assume any responsibility at all. So she didn't want to go there. She didn't want to face it. Yeah. So we weren't over it, and so we came back home. We fought for
probably another hour.
Yeah, a good while. A good hour, and
just hashing that out.
And finally, she got to the point where she was like, "Okay, yeah,
yeah."
Like you owned it. Like you just, I can't remember what you. I can't even remember what you did, but she was out of integrity, and then she finally was like, "Okay, I'm willing to get back in."
First of all, I acknowledged that I was out of integrity. That was so hard for me to do. And then for a while, I was like, okay, I'm not in integrity right now. I don't want to own my shit, and I know this, and I sticking by my guns, and I don't want to own it because I don't want you to be right. And here's the thing: it's not about right or wrong. This is where I trap myself. Is I make it about right or wrong, good guy, bad guy, all this stuff, and I make myself the bad guy, I make myself wrong, and that means that he wins and that he's right. And when he's angry, I don't want him to win, I don't want him to be right, but that doesn't do anything for my vision, which is integrity, connection, freedom, and yeah, so I sabotaged myself. So I came around, I was like, okay, well shit, this sucks, but I gotta own my stuff. I am not in integrity right now. And that was the first step, and then really looking at, like being willing to look at his pain, at the pain that I caused him for the first 9 years of marriage. And I think that was the next thing I did. Okay. And then apologizing for, man, like I'm sorry for minimizing that for doing that because I downplay stuff. That's also something I'm really good at doing. I just like downplay it like it's not a big deal. So then we came to a conclusion on that. We were okay. He we made amends. It was good.
I think at that point, I was just pissed off that we had fought for 2 hours, and that all right, back. So I think at that point, I was just pissed off that we fought for 2 hours, and I think I was just looking
like
for.
We wasted the evening. You know? It felt like we wasted the evening.
Now I was pissed about that. I'm thinking like, just if you would just, as soon as you walked out the door and you brought that up, if we just took responsibility then, we would have had a good night.
I know.
And had some
it's all
stuff
my fault.
that we could share on this show
Really
tonight. And that's what I was thinking. But anyways, there was a pause, and what? No, a phone call. I took a phone call because.
Oh yeah, he was supporting somebody with their stuff.
So I took a phone call, and then after the phone call, there was some time to settle down.
This is when the real shit hit the fan.
And this is when it got crazy. So, what did you tell me? Oh man.
So, okay. So when he was on the phone, and he had been yelling a lot, you know, before, releasing his rage, doing all this other stuff too, prior to us fighting and all that. And when he was talking with, you know, this friend on the phone, and I realized like I could hear him talking from the other room, and I was like, I just don't like his fucking voice. Like it just, it's such a grating, like it's such a turn off and all this stuff. And I'm just thinking about, wow, I have never realized that I felt that way. And I resented that I felt that way. And so I thought, you know what? I don't think I've ever told him that. And I haven't told him some other things too that have been unappealing to me. And it's not like to be angry and be like, man, you suck because of all these things that you just have or are or do. But I really felt like I had this moment where I stopped and I had this conversation with myself of like, okay, do you really want to go there? Because you guys are good now. Like you had the fight, you're good. He's still like, you know, the emotions are still there, but you guys came to a conclusion. I think you're gonna be fine, and you can totally go and have not makeup sex. I know we hate like they call it makeup sex, but you know we could go just do our regular evening and go on about life and talk about the show, about passion, keeping passion alive. And that's when I realized like, no, I need to do this. And the thing is that I didn't realize how much aftermath there would be from me telling him that.
Let's get to it.
Yeah, okay. Let's get to it.
So what did you say?
So I told him in like a calm, collected way that since he's been injured, so it's been what, like
2 years,
a little over 2 years, and he's started losing weight and he's been growing his hair out, and he has the Asian side of his voice that's a little higher pitched. I told him like, I feel like, what was it exactly that I said? It was just so.
All right. She said.
What did you hear? What do you remember?
She said, I hate when your fucking voice is all high pitched.
Did I say that?
Like that.
I think that's just how I
remember. This is what I remember. But I remember.
I don't remember
you
using any words.
You
like
hate my voice. And he's like, you hate my voice, it turns me off so much. Why can't you have a fucking deeper voice? Like a real man.
This is really interesting that's what he remembers.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's not the message that we say, it's the message that's heard, the message that's understood.
But so you said, what did you think you said?
I said that it was a turn off to me that the thinner you get because of your injuries progressively over the last 2 years, and the more your hair's growing out, I said, I feel like I'm more of the man and you're more of the woman. Oh shit! It was like, oh, that is some cutting words.
So my voice,
which he has no control over, his injuries, which he has no control over.
I've been injured for 2 years, and so I'm like 30 pounds under the normal weight that I usually am.
Yeah.
That I used to be, and so it's been 2 years, not even that I usually am anymore. And so I lose a lot of weight in my face. I'm really skinny arms, I guess, compared to how we had been.
Because when we first got married, you were thinner than this, but that's not what I've been used to for the last few.
So long hair, high pitched voice, skinny, and my mannerisms. You talked about the way I walk.
Yeah. That's right.
You're pissed
Because
off about the way I walk,
got
and you're like,
feminine movements and short shorts, and I didn't say anything about the shorts, but I mean, it's just overall like when he's free, he can do whatever the fuck with his body. And you know what? Right now, I love that. But tied in with that, I associated it with being girly.
Later. So here's the moment.
We'll get to it.
Let's not ruin the fucking moment. So I'm just staring at her, and there's a part of me that's like thankful that she finally stopped lying to me. Like, tell me the truth. Quit hiding her bullshit. Because we've tried to go here before, months and months back, years back. And just now, we have the tools, have the tools to get to this. And so I was like happy, but at the same time, I wasn't happy. Like I wasn't big enough for the truth to come out. Like it hit me, and I was like, fuck, I can't handle this. And I just looked at her, I stared at her, I didn't know what to do. I was just sitting there in the moment, looking at her, and she told me this stuff. Why can't you, I want you to be, man, the deep voice, walk around, big muscles, like Dwayne Johnson.
Oh, and I told him too, I was like, I feel so shitty telling you this because there is nothing you can do to change that. Like, this is just who you are. And I've rationalized to myself, you shouldn't desire anything. Like, nothing else should turn you on because this is what you have. So just, be okay. Just don't want anything else. And I told him that I felt...
So I was in a lot of pain. I was in a lot of shame. I felt so ashamed. So one of the things I've struggled with all my life is just feeling like a man. Like, for so long, I tried to prove myself. Whether sports or the military or just doing some crazy shit, always doing some kind of crazy ass performance to prove that I'm fucking crazy awesome man. And whether it's with my kids, trying to be the craziest dad I can be, whatever it is, I'm always trying to prove that I'm this man. And I gotta say, I think my voice is probably one of the things I've been most
insecure about.
I
didn't even know that.
That and probably my penis. And I got over my penis years ago.
Yeah, no,
but my voice, I think, is the biggest thing. So I think that was the biggest trigger for me. And so she's just looking at me, probably waiting for what are you gonna do?
I feel like we made eye contact for 5 solid minutes with no talking.
And I'm thinking what am I gonna do? And so I just walked past her and I grab my phone and I'm gonna go to sleep. And I get to I get up to my dark bedroom and I'm like, I can't fucking go to bed. I'm pissed. So Lucy, I think maybe you fall up, go to the bedroom, and I go back downstairs into our guest room, and just I gotta get some rage. I'm fucking angry. When I get I feel any kind of guilt, shame, blame, things like that. My biggest, I just get angry. I get fucking angry. I get really angry, and I want to just hold it inside. Most of the men I know, we just hold it inside. Well, that's not me anymore. I get it out because when I hold it inside, it hurts people. It hurts myself. It hurts people, and I walk around like a fucking dead person. So I go back downstairs into the guest room, and then I just started weeping. And I wept, and I was crying like a little bitch. I had towel in front of my face. I felt so ashamed. I didn't even want the world to see me in my own room. I just would cover my face crying, and I felt so ashamed, so filthy, so not like a man. And I felt I think that's my deepest pain. Inadequate, small, insignificant, unworthy, like a piece of shit. I felt so worthless. And this is stuff I've dealt with before, and this is a deeper level is hitting me. It's never hit me before. And so I'm crying it out. Lucy comes down, looks at me, she starts crying. And I can't even look at her. I felt so ashamed.
Yeah, he's like, just go away, just leave me alone.
And I'm just squealing in my crying voice, go away, fucking go away, bitch, go away. And then I walked past her because she wasn't gonna move. So I walked past her up to the bedroom, and she follows me, and then I fucking go back downstairs by myself, back into the guest room again. And I stayed down there for 2 hours, 2 fucking hours, just crying, weeping, screaming, yelling into a rag. I went through with my snot and everything. I went through half a dozen rags easily, big hand towels, and it was probably, that's not probably, it was the most pain I've ever been in my life. I felt like such a piece of shit. I felt rejected, and fear of rejection is one of my, it's always been an Achilles heel for me, but to be rejected by my own wife, and not just by my own wife, but to be rejected from, by my own wife. It's crooked now. By my own wife, as a man, and not just as a man, but as a man sexually. So the thing was, it's not about not having sex or something like that. It's more like I wanted to feel like I'm sexually desired.
Yeah, I wanted to feel desirable.
Like when I walk out of the shower, naked, drying my hair up, I want her to just look at me. Just look at me, and and want me. And that's a fantasy.
Notice him, and even just
maybe that's a fantasy. And the reality is I really want the truth, but shit, I couldn't handle the truth. And at the time, and so I cried it out. And I was just crying, and in the middle of it, I got this huge gift that night. So this is 2 nights ago. Just thinking like, wow, I've been like trying to perform my whole life, prove to the world that I'm a man. Whether it's got Simon watching me right now, like whether it's on Armor in college, our floor. Kind of like a fraternity, like wherever I am, I'm trying to prove that I'm this big fucking man, performing my ass off to be the best, or be the elite, excellent, whatever it is. My performance will cover everything. And in fact, if I can build up an awesome body and be ripped, shit, like I can hide behind my body. I'm not knowing this, like this is subconscious stuff, but like I'm.
This is recent discovery.
Insecurity.
By the way.
Like I'm so insecure, and. So I got that last night, but I kept on crying, and finally after a couple hours, I was gonna sleep downstairs, but finally I was like, shit, I'm gonna go sleep in my own bed, cause fuck this, like this is my bed, and fuck Lucy, she doesn't want to accept me, you can fuck her, she can go to sleep in her own bed. And so I go upstairs, and she's still awake. I thought she would be sleeping, but she's still awake.
Yeah, I was legitimately concerned, like I kept going downstairs to see if he's like still crying, like I thought, and you said, can we share this?
What? Yeah.
Okay. That's what I'm talking about.
There's nothing
like,
to hide.
Yeah. So he said that if there was any night that he would have killed himself, it would have been that night. And that was legitimately what I was afraid of.
I felt so trapped. So
I saw him and I was like, oh shit, this is...
Those 2 hours of crying, like I saw in that, like I was like, okay, Lucy doesn't accept me. And, well, first of all, I felt trapped. So Lucy doesn't accept me.
And there's nothing you can do
and God is, so she didn't accept me because I didn't have the body before. There's some things like my voice that I've always had, but a lot of it, the majority of it was my body. She's like, you're never gonna come back like you were from your deployment and be this, 200-pound man, 5% body fat, big ass dude, and be able
who can like sweep me off my feet and like take me,
and
type of thing.
And so, that used to be me. I used to be able to hide behind my performance like that. And so I felt like, okay, rejected by Lucy, God didn't reject me, but he fucked me over. That's how I felt. Like, okay, because he took this from me. Like, I didn't get injured. Like, I just screwed myself over. Like, the injuries that happened were, like, they happened from no fault of my own. It was just shit. I diagnosed with a hereditary disease, and shit just happened. And then the third thing, I felt trapped by myself. Like, my own brain had been, like, lying to me for so long, had been covering up. Like, I knew that she didn't, like, really, really want me with everything, in her. I knew this, and in some parts I had rationalized it, but I didn't know it was this deep. And my brain, I just knew it.
But you didn't know why, what was really
my brain was defending myself, and I felt like I was just covering up for Lucy the real truth this whole time. And, dang it, stop texting me. I've lost my train of thought now, Kevin.
Don't get distracted. It's fine. These are great comments.
So I felt like my heart was trapped, like by this. I remember in the moment thinking like some kind of dark trinity of Lucy, God, and myself, and my own brain, like those
Everybody's
three things working against my heart, and I felt so trapped. I couldn't get out of it. Like there's a story of
Oh, the lion.
The lion, like Anthony Robbins gives like this lion. So his lion whose pack died, is it called pack? And and he gets picked up by sheep. And so he grows up being a sheep, and then one day he grows up and a bunch of lions come and eat all the sheep. And I don't know the whole story, but basically the lion's like, what the hell is going on? And the other lions are trying to get this lion to see that he's a lion. They try to feed him sheep, and then finally they walk him down to the water, look in a mirror, and the lion realizes that he's a fucking lion. and then he roars, and Anthony Robbins uses this. This guy wakes up from his life being a domesticated man, dead all his life.
Netflix.
And
by the way.
you know, and that's okay, cool story, inspirational, motivating, waking somebody up. I felt like the complete opposite. I felt like I was a sheep all my life that had found a lion's costume, and I was able to be an awesome, badass lion by working my ass off, performing my ass off, doing everything I could to be this badass lion, and I could not just blend in with the lions, but I could be a awesome lion that earned respect and admiration and all this stuff. And then one day, I feel like God just took the damn costume away from me, and I was left butt naked as a sheep, and just getting my ass rejected, hurt. Like, I rejected myself foremost, and then Lucy rejects me, and I just felt like crap. Like, people, like, shit, nobody wants to, I can't surf. I have so many surfer friends. Guess what? They don't even want to hang out with me because I can't fucking surf. You know, so I felt so rejected, just so ashamed, like all this stuff. And so that was my story. I was just like, I wanted to kill myself, and I felt so, it was just so dark. But and one big gift I realized is, like, I've been performing my whole life for everybody, trying to earn, you know, their respect as a man, trying to be accepted and be loved. And then 31 years into life, here I am at the peak of my performances.
Yeah.
I'm still not even fully accepted by my own wife.
Yeah. Even when his body, like, he was, like, putting all this investment in his body, lifting all the big weights, like, doing all the big waves, it's still, like,
I'm still rejected. Like, not, at least not fully accepted by my own wife.
Yeah.
And then it just hit me then. And this is just one of the multiple, just huge, mind-blowing, life-changing gifts that I got doing this stuff, like, in the past couple of days. Because here's the thing, we don't want to hear the truth, but the truth sets us free, and it changes our lives. So when Lucy told me the fucking truth, quit hiding the truth, quit living in her fantasy land, and gave me the real hard facts, it was a lot of pain because it's real, but it set me free. So one of the first things, how it set me free, is I learned that, man, if I'm at my peak performance, doing the best I can as Ryan Lampy throughout my whole life, if I haven't even earned or performed well enough to be accepted by my own wife, who knows me, like, knows everything I did, like, all the great stuff. I only have to sit there and puff myself up to her, like, she just fucking knows it.
And, like, there's
it just took away, like, there's no reason to fucking perform at all for me. Like, there's just no more reason. Like, if I can convince her in my greatest performance, like, there's no, like, I cannot work hard enough or perform hard enough to make anybody accept me.
Yeah.
And so it set me free. Like, all I can do is just be myself. All I can do is just be authentic, and this is no use. So we're only getting started. We go into the next day. So first of all, I come upstairs. Lucy's still awake, and I'm like, I don't give a shit about her, and I'm gonna go to sleep. And she looks up. I don't remember if you said anything. No, but I couldn't even control myself. I was so angry still, so pissed.
I felt like, don't say anything. Like, just don't even.
Yeah, and I told her. I can't remember everything I said, but I was like, oh, you lying fucking cunt. And
that one didn't hurt. It was the next thing.
And then I said, you are the most worthless human piece of shit I've ever known, or something like that. Just like,
which is interesting. Human piece of shit.
I don't know, but it was horrible. I can't remember, but it was horrible. I mean, I felt guilty after saying it, but I was like, shit, this is me. This is real.
But he was like, I meant it.
Here's the thing. It sounds crazy. It sounds horrible. Like, who says that should say that to his wife? You know? I mean, she at least told me the truth. Well, I was telling her the truth too, but it's
like what he felt. It was the truth of what he felt.
And she says she's sorry, and I say I forgive you. Like, it might even be bullshit.
Simon asked, when was this? This was 2 nights ago.
2 nights ago. In preparation
and then someone also asked
this video
what the degenerative disease is, and it's a nerve pain, basically, disorder.
Yeah, it's not degenerative. It's hereditary.
Hereditary.
No.
Yeah.
It doesn't get better, but it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't get better.
It doesn't get worse on its own. It gets worse if I make it worse.
Yeah, if he exacerbates it.
But anyway, so going into the next day, wake up the next morning, I do a stack and it's a tool from this book called The Warrior.
The black book from the Wake Up Warrior.
It's the Warrior book by Garrett White, and it's something I do every day. It's a discipline I've been doing every day for for a couple weeks now, a little over a couple weeks, and with my coaching group and under my coach, and I'm just going into like releasing more rage. Like downstairs, I'm like, was it 5 o'clock in the morning, going down a couple hours before shit gets crazy in our house.
Yeah, you get up early to do it.
I had a phone call at 7, a coaching call at 7, so I'm trying to get this done before then. And I spent 2 hours basically going down, journaling, and just releasing a bunch of rage. Like I'm still in so much pain. But here I'm realizing for the first time that, man, I wish I could remember this stuff clearly. I was just in a lot of pain, and well, we'll go off the story. If I catch it,
because all those details, I think
I was still in full-on blaming mode. I'll put it that way. I was still like, fucking Lucy. I wanted her to tell me the truth, but damn, like that truth, like I wanted to hear it. So how I rationalize it in my mind is like, well, I wanted to hear it, but why didn't you tell me this shit years ago? Like, why you let me beat myself up, feel so insecure? If you would have told me this stuff years ago, you know, and not like. Because the thing is, she can say that she is attracted to me, you know, completely, fully sexually desires me, but the truth is she doesn't. She can try to play the part, but I know, you know, I might not know like right with my mind, but like, you know, there's a reason why I felt so insecure, you know, and it's not all her fault, but like it plays into it. Anyways, I was trying to figure out every fucking reason to blame her still. So I'm just in a whole lot of pain, still in this mode of blaming. And I was not even halfway through my stack. So I'm still in this mode of like just feeling the pain, feeling the anger, feeling the emotions, and trying to, because if we move on too quickly, if I move on too quickly, I miss all the revelation. I miss all the gifts that come in through the feelings and everything that God is guiding me through. And if I suppress it and hide it, then I turn into a fucking zombie. I'm not a human being. And you know, and it's gonna come out sooner or later. It's probably gonna come out for a long time, and will come out until I get it out of me. And
or it'll just blow up later, like whatever's not.
Yeah, and it will probably never fully blow up because I'm probably not willing to go there just in the middle of a fight or something. So I have to go there now, like controlled manner. Go there now by myself. In our guest room, downstairs, before everybody wakes up, going there now, getting into the deepest part of my rage, of my anger, my pain, so I don't fucking just release this all over my kids, my family, my friends, my parents, whoever I'm connected to in my life. And so I'm doing this, and I didn't even get halfway done, and I had this coaching call, but hey, that was a huge blessing, because in the coaching call, you know, I'm looking at Sebastian, and everybody, I'm sitting there, and all these guys, like, we all are completely transparent in front of each other, so they know us, our situation. I mean, we share, and it's great. It's family. It's family like no other.
So what happened?
And
like, what's the key thing that you got from that?
So one of the big things is, I told him, because everybody, we do a celebration at the beginning, like celebration, like, you know, since we saw each other last, whatever, like big wins, big, you know. And I was like, when it got to me, I was like, fuck you guys, I'm not doing a celebration. I'll do a clearing. I'll tell you like what's on my mind right now. I don't want to celebrate because shit is tough right now, and I'm in a whole lot of pain right now. And I don't want to like take all your time telling you guys stuff. I'll give you a little bit. Like, me and Lucy just had a big fight a couple of nights ago, or last night now, and I'm not over it, and I'm in a lot of pain. And anyway, so they asked me some questions, dug a little deeper, gave me permission to go a little further, and so we went a little deeper. And Sebastian told me, you know, you just need to sit in this pain. Like, don't try to get over this quickly. You need to sit in this pain, sift through your shit, and because I mean, your big gifts lie in there.
You know what was interesting about that?
What?
This is like, there's no accidental happenings in all of the timing of this. Is that on a client call, the issue of sitting with our pain came up, and that's what I literally told my client to do. I was like, just, you know, this week, sit with your pain. Like, look it in the eyes, look it in the face. Don't rush it. Just sit with it and figure out like what does it want from you? Why is it there? What do you need to learn from it? And the irony in that is that I wasn't willing to sit with my pain. I didn't want to look at it. I didn't want to sit with, like, I didn't want to look at his pain. I didn't want to look at any pain. I just wanted it to go away. And so, yeah, so it's interesting that that very same day, all of this stuff was in our
So it was good. So
life.
it's a huge day of transformation, called a huge day of abundance in our house. So that day,
Sure.
I get off the coaching call, and I think it's somewhere in the end, Sebastian was telling me, like, you know, like, you need to go take care of your shit, whatever it is, you know, instead of being a little bitch, getting, you know, like, taking Lucy's...
Don't be a little bitch.
Taking Lucy's shit and I don't know, walking away with your tail, you know, between your legs or whatever it is. I can't remember, but I just remember just like, yeah, shit, this sucks.
So let's get to the point where things actually, because we can get in the story and all the details and all that. I feel like we've been doing that. So what is the lesson? Like, what was missing for us that we didn't see until later?
Yeah, so let's just, I don't even remember. The whole day is just so fucking crazy. But in the end, at the end of the day, the space is finally, I mean, the space was there all day, but I was just in so much pain that I was like, okay, I'm getting over it, but I don't even want to be touched by you. Like, that's the way I was. I don't want to be touched by you. I just, like, I feel like I'm over my shame. I'm getting over my shame and getting over some of my pain, but I'm just not there yet, and I'm not ready to, like, reconcile. Just not there yet. Give me some time. I felt like in a way, and it's probably not that bad, but in my world, it was worse than this. I feel like she cheated on me. That's just I felt betrayed. I felt so hurt. Like, she just completely rejected me and lied about it for so long.
Yeah. And to me, like, I wasn't even aware that this was really disintegrating in myself until I heard him having that conversation and I heard his voice, and then all this came together for me. It was a big trigger. So all of that at once.
So by the end of the night, and she kept like trying to fix it. Like, what can I do? What can I do to make it better? And I was like, shit, I don't know what to do.
I wanted to make sure that there was nothing that I left unacknowledged. That was the big thing.
So, oh man, so we go on a walk, and on this walk, I'm thinking I'm getting over my stuff, okay? And I know we have this video to create tonight, and I'm like, let's go for a walk.
So this was last night.
And okay, so Lucy, great job acknowledging all your stuff, your responsibilities, how you hurt me. Now, here's the thing. There's always two parts of it. Even if she cheated on me, like, there's a part I'm responsible for that. And I have to be fully responsible for that because, I mean, people just don't fucking cheat on people for no reason. Like, I've been doing something. Whether it's not being there for her, whatever it is, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I mean, I really don't. I don't know what it is. So we go for a walk. I'm like, okay,
you asked me what...
Okay, baby, so... What is my responsibility?
Yeah.
You know, and so you tell me.
Yeah, so I told him the big thing was, you know, him being very critical of me and like kind of, you know, being pushy about what he wanted from me that I didn't necessarily want for myself. That was the big thing. What else did I say? I mean, that was the big thing that I.
The big gift is coming later. Be patient, everybody.
We're running out of time.
So we're going for a walk. Oh, we didn't even set a time. I don't even know what time it is.
Oh, it's 8:55. Okay.
So we go for a walk, and she tells me, yeah, anger and being critical, which is this shit I've already owned up for.
Oh yeah,
and I already
anger.
know. I said I'm not gonna change my fucking anger. Like, you can't help your feelings, and I could release it another way, but it's changed our marriage so much in the way that I focused it and used it, and.
Oh, and that was the thing. That was the thing,
like,
because for you, he said that the anger fueled him to actually call me out on my shit.
To get my vision for our marriage, which is deeper connection. Because, like I said, I wanted to hear, even though I wasn't ready for the truth, like, I wanted to hear the truth. Like, I want us to not have any fucking lies between us, any bullshit, any fantasy land.
Yeah.
To know each other, because that brings a deeper connection.
But then I'm like, well, if this is what I get for being truthful, like, I want to be truthful,
yeah,
you know?
So clearly I'm still fucking up. So I'll go for this walk, and she tells me, you know, you're angry, yelling at me, and criticism, being critical. I'm thinking, like, sexual desire, not like being horny, but like just like you looking at my body, you're like
me just
you're not
like
sexually
wanting,
desiring my body.
Yeah, like just
you know, even
wanting,
being put
like
off
this,
by it.
Being like, you're like, I want
I was like,
to do this.
I was like, fuck you, like being critical, like I get that when we're fighting. I'm not expecting you to be sexually attracted to me while we're fighting, and I'm being critical. But what about the other times angry.
We're not fighting?
So you know, like
what am I doing
I'll
there?
admit that shit, but that's not. I mean, if you think that's it, okay. But there's got to be something else. And so we go into last night. After the walk.
I mean, we're getting second story.
Getting nowhere. Okay, so last night, at the very end of the night, we reconcile. And
so this is where the real shit. This is where the good stuff is. Okay, you guys. He looks at me. I really feel it. I get in here instead of like thinking up here about like, okay, well, I did the steps, I acknowledged, I committed, I apologized, I know what I want now, you know, and it's just all in my head. I'm not feeling it in my heart. I got into feeling it in my heart, and Ryan saw that because he's connected to his heart, so he can tell when I'm not in my heart when I'm talking with him. And so so he really connects with it. I apologize. I acknowledge the pain, even though it was the truth, it was how I really felt and what I really wanted and all of that. But it doesn't change the fact that it caused pain. So it's not that it's wrong, it caused pain and there was damage. And so I acknowledged that and leaned into his pain. And then it was when he told me, I forgive you, that everything really just broke in me, because I realized in that moment how, first of all, I didn't expect him to actually forgive me for this, because I knew how deeply it hurt him, because I had told him that I was not turned on by things that he had zero control over. Like
not turned on.
It's like
she
complete
said
rejection.
She didn't even like stuff. Like this doesn't even turn me on. Why can't you fucking have this instead? Like,
yeah.
It was brutal.
So she got real, but that's when I realized that, you know, first of all, I didn't think he would actually forgive me, and if he did, then maybe it would be like way later on. Like this is something that we could just tolerate for a while and try to get over time. But when he said I forgive you, and I saw it in his eyes, and I really believed it, and I was like, he means it. That's when I realized, oh my God, I was expecting to have to like perform or prove myself before I could be forgiven for hurting him. And so that is also the moment where it really sunk in, when he said, you know, you're a useless, the most worthless or whatever human piece of shit. And I was like, I really felt like that. I felt like the most useless, worthless piece of shit. And you know what? It wasn't because of the words that he said. And it wasn't because he said, I forgive you. It was because I didn't forgive myself. Like, I was so ashamed of myself for thinking that something other than him was sexually attractive.
Which is not wrong. Like, it's perfect. It's just that she didn't.
Which is natural, but like, I judge that in myself. It doesn't mean that I'm gonna act on it, or I'm gonna go like try to, you know, like sleep with some guy who is that. But I really judge myself. I felt ashamed of just having that desire. The thing is, you can't control what you want or what turns you on or what your fantasies are, any of that. But I felt ashamed. So as long as I couldn't accept myself, I can't really accept him fully. I can't.
It was crazy is I wanted that. Like, I want her dark side. I want to know all that, and because I love it and accept it. I couldn't at the time. I wasn't ready for it. That's what's ironic. That was the paradox.
It is a process.
But it took me some time, and then I wanted that. And then when I actually wanted that, she was the one unwilling to give it up because she hated herself so much for it.
Yeah.
Now here's what's crazy. So all this seems like she's putting all this hurt on me. She's putting all this pain on me. All that shame, guilt, hours of sobbing, screaming, weeping like a little bitch. All this grace, I say like a little bitch, not like in a punitive way.
And feeling
like,
so angry at me.
It just sounded like it. But it was real. It was powerful. But all that was not from her. Like, it was like fully my responsibility. It was fully me. And it was all because I didn't love myself on that deep of a level.
Didn't accept himself.
I didn't accept myself on that deep of a level. Like, when it came to that very bottom, I was at a point where, wow, if Lucy rejects this part of me, then I can't accept myself. And that was just the hard facts. Like, that was the truth. And I don't think I got that until this morning when I woke up. When I woke up this morning and I realized, like...
Yeah, it all really clicked this morning.
Yeah, I went through even more processes
I'm telling
this
you guys,
morning.
this is real time. Like, this just happening.
This morning.
Just happened.
And it just clicked for me. I was like, oh shit, like, everything. I brought it all on myself. Like, completely, all my pain, all my stuff. Here's the thing, if I was secure about myself, which I am now, I mean, to the best of my knowledge.
With these things.
And
yeah.
I wouldn't perform for anybody anymore. And I'm like, I have this like deepest fucking love for myself and acceptance of myself. It's just the greatest gift. But if I'm like fully accepting myself, like, it doesn't matter what she says.
Like, I'd say something and he could be like, okay, that's hurtful. Like, wow.
Because here's the reality. Like, I want the same thing with her. Because we do have this certain things. It's just like, this is the deepest level we've ever been in this situation.
And it was a huge trigger. And that's the thing, is that I triggered it, but it was still his responsibility. Like, it was his thing to deal with. And we're both responsible. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, we talked about, what was it, on Sunday, about the 100% responsibility, or was it last week? 100%. We're each 100% responsible. It makes no sense mathematically, but we're each 100% responsible. So we gotta own our part. Like, there is no one-sided situation ever. There's always another side.
We don't necessarily both have to own 100%, but whoever owns 100% has the power to create whatever they want. Create the vision they want. You know, if I didn't own anything and Lucy owned all her part,
I could have.
She could have moved on, created whatever she want, love me like a king, do everything.
But then he would have missed his gift,
and I would have been just sitting in my self-pity still.
Yeah.
You know, so
still not accepting himself.
Me being responsible and owning my responsibility is for my own good. It'll serve her also, but it's first and foremost for myself.
Yeah. And then for me, it was also a thing of self-acceptance. So I took my own advice. I did my own... I did the very exercise I suggested to my client. And I sat this morning... God, it feels like a week ago. It's crazy. It's crazy, guys. This has been a big day. I know there's for other reasons too, but it started like this. So I do my meditations in the morning. And this morning I decided I'm going to do this visualization instead. I'm going to do this process. And I sat with this part of myself that I didn't like. This part of myself that I was ashamed of. And I had a conversation with her. Might sound a little schizophrenic or crazy, but it works for me and it works for some other people too. So I had a deep feeling of gratitude for this part of myself. There are a lot of things that this part has done for me, a lot of ways that she served me, and it's a part of me. I can't get rid of this part of... I was ashamed, here's what it is I was ashamed of being shallow and caring about appearance, and for that being a big thing that I was either attracted to or not attracted to. And I thought I was better than that. I'm like, oh, I'm not that. I'm better than that. But that isn't me. That's me. So I had to own that to be free from it, controlling me, and embrace it. And so in this whole, I'm not going to walk you through the whole sequence, but basically I had a conversation with her. I learned that her name is Jennifer, and... You
sound like a crazy one right now. I don't understand this. Like,
he's never done this stuff. And if you do this deck, I talk to parts of myself. So, but I made peace with that part of myself. That's the point. That's the gift. And I can talk about this and not feel ashamed. And just be like, yeah, that's what I want. That's a part of me. And I spoke that truth 2 nights ago, and it caused pain. But that's a part of me. And so embracing that dark side of myself is like, she doesn't have to run the show, but she's there.
She's there, and it was hard to face her, like on that deep of a level a couple nights ago and yesterday. The truth is, like, after I got over myself and my own pity and insecurities and could sit and fall in love with myself on a deeper level, accept myself on a much deeper level than ever before, like, I not just want to accept that part of her. Like, I really want that part of her. Because that's her.
Like, he wants her in bed, you know?
Sometimes, yeah. Like, I want that woman, her dark side, her light side, everything, the whole being. Her whole being. I want all of you. Like, not just, I want it, I love it, not just accept it.
Like, really accept it. And there was a moment where he told me last night, he was like, oh, I accept you.
She said, I left her on the beach. I was like, no, don't leave her on the beach.
No, I told her she's just gonna hang out there for a little bit so I can take a break. Fucking break from her for a... But she's back now. She's with me right now. That just seems really crazy. It's okay. Yeah.
Thanks for sticking with us through a super serious video. We want to, like, I envisioned our videos being goofy, crazy, silly, all kinds of crazy stuff. And I feel like I've been staring at this camera.
You're like super leaning in though. I think that
I'm intense right now. Like,
you're intense.
It's been a crazy 2 days.
You lean in, I can't really lean in because your knee is over here, and I'm like, my legs have no room. But it's okay. It's just, you know, camera problems. So yeah, this has been the big revelation is how our acceptance of ourselves, or for me in particular, how me not accepting myself has interfered with accepting him.
Boom, that's another one. All that shit that she put on me that caused the pain and all that stuff, like, also it was a bunch of projection of her own shit.
Yeah.
A lot of it. Not manly enough, you know, some parts of her, like, she feels too manly. Physically. I love her knees. She doesn't like her knees. She thinks they're too manly. Like,
No,
there's certain things like that.
Like,
oh yeah, you over that?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, just,
I used to hate
so
them.
much
and
projection.
my thighs was like, I have my father's legs, like, oh, they're so manly. But now I'm like, oh, my legs are fucking strong. Like, when people are like, those are great quads. You know what?
She's justifying this shit.
Simon Cowell commented on my legs. I have freaking amazing legs. No, but anyway. Yeah, so I felt, and that's one thing I said, is that I felt too masculine.
So much more work to do.
But there's...
we have so much work. This is amazing, and it's so fun.
So as it comes up, it just comes up. Like, oh, great. We're ready to deal with this now.
But and this is cool, it's thanks to this show, because we wouldn't have gone here at least 2 days ago. Because I was in preparation for this show.
Talking about
and while it was so painful, like, here's what the fruit is. Like, it was a lot of work, and it was a lot of pain, and it was a lot of craziness. Yeah. But the fruit is, we both love, first of all, ourselves on a much deeper level in the past 2 days than ever before. It's just fucking mind-blowing. For me, it's just crazy mind-blowing. And then second of all, now we love and accept each other on a much deeper connected level than ever before. And I thought we were killer before. I thought we were, like, so amazing before. And it's like, wow, here's reality.
The work never ends, you guys.
We go deeper and deeper and deeper in ourselves and with each other. Just having a deeper connection, a deeper acceptance and love for each other, and yeah, greater marriage. Because here's the thing, our vision, my vision, is to have the greatest fucking marriage in the world. Next week, we're going to talk about, ready for this? I'm just going to come up with this right now. We talked about this a little bit earlier. Next week, we're going to talk about how the responsibility, let me see, call it no excuses. How one person, the power of one person can transform a whole marriage. One person. Because here's the thing, excuses all the time.
I approve of this topic.
You guys are doing fucking amazing. Because guess what? You should see my wife. You should see my husband. Like, you know, I can do all the work, but they're never gonna change. And especially Christians, oh my gosh, I was one of them. I mean, I'm still a Christian, but I was one of these Christians who was like, you know what, I'm gonna pray my ass off. God is gonna change that woman, I swear. I just gotta be patient.
I just gotta be patient. That God's gonna change her, and then I will be happy. Then I can be
And the whole time, God is just asking me to show up myself.
Yeah.
And get my vision. So here's the thing.
We're gonna talk about that. Ooh.
No excuses. It's gonna be called No Excuses. How one person with a vision
That's a really long title.
Can change a whole marriage.
I'm just envisioning it.
We will figure it out. But it's going to be about that.
It's going to be about that. Watch for the succinct title. Bold.
All right.
Brief. Yeah. Thanks everybody for tuning in tonight.
We love you guys. I love you guys. Simon, you make me so happy, dude. See you.
So good to see y'all.
I love you all.
Good night.
See you later.